Well, I have been known to waste money on bits and pieces because I just wanted to try everything and have everything and play with everything, hence why I started this YouTube channel. So when you own a $300 pair of headphones, you don't necessarily need to go spend another $90 to $100 on something different, unless you're Sash and you wanted to try something different. But there was a reason behind it this time, in case my wife's watching. So we've got a trip coming up shortly overseas, and I figured I use my AirPods as a daily business tool, and I didn't want to run the risk of losing it or getting it damaged or getting it stolen perhaps as well. So I jumped online, had a look at what's available at the moment and what would satisfy my needs, and I came across the Jabra Elite 3's, and I can tell you, so far so good. So although the retail of the Jabras are over $120 odd, currently they're on sale here in Australia for about $79 through the major retailers, including Jabra directly as well. So I actually purchased mine, and I wanted to take them for a bit of a test drive before I do a review on them. The other driver behind me using these headphones is for the gym. So you're probably asking yourself, are you sure you even go to the gym? Well, I've just started, okay, so anyway, that's another story. So I jumped on the Jabra Elite 3's because they're in the price range of, I would invest that much money into something, but I don't want to spend much more than that because I already own something different. So that was sort of my sweetener. They're around the $80 to $90 mark. And after using them now for about 2 weeks, I can tell you that they're bloody great. And I will let you know why as well. But before I do that, I'll just take you through a few of the specifications of them. So for example, the Jabra Elite 3's have a Bluetooth 5.2. They've got 6mm drivers on them. They're customizable EQ in the Jabra Plus app. They've got 4 microphones, which is quite handy as well. Passive noise reduction as opposed to active on the Airpod Pros, and I'll take you through a difference shortly. They've got the hear through feature, which is quite useful. Up to 28-hour battery with the charging case. And if you charge them for about 10 minutes in the case from empty, you get about an hour's worth of usage battery. You can either use one or both earbuds at any given time, which is great. It almost doubles your battery, I suppose. And you can activate your voice assistant, be it Siri, Google, even Alexa for Android users as well. It does a fast pair, but that only works with Android phones and not iOS/Apple. It does come with 3 silicone gels in the box, so you can get more of a customized fit based on how big your ear canals are and so forth. And IP55 rated with 2-year warranty against dust and water damage, which is pretty impressive as well. And the Jabra Sound Plus app, which I mentioned earlier, which is a fantastic app that I use currently for other headphones as well. So now that we're talking about the Jabra Elite 3's and the Airpod Pros, for anyone that owns the AirPods, the Pros, not the earlier version, let me take you through a bit of a comparison. Not too much great detail or specification because this is not what the channel is about. It's more about usability and I suppose usage for an average consumer, or a young family like we have, that we can sort of all share them if need be. But to give you an idea, you've got the AirPod Pros here, and they also do have the, just give me 1 sec because they've got bloody strong magnets. Come on, there we go. So most people are familiar with the AirPods. You've got the silicone bit that goes in your ear, which is out of focus. Great camera work there, Sash. Anyway, you get the gist. They come in that nice case with a very strong magnet and very good build quality. The Jabras on the other hand, and I'll show you the case here. It is a flat case, which is handy, so you can sit it on the table. And these are the actual headphones. So as you can see, they also have the silicone bit that goes in your ear, But I can tell you now, I don't know whether you can hear it, but I'll just put it near the mic. This is the Jabra case opening and closing. This is the AirPods. What I'm getting at is the build quality is clearly a lot better in the Apple AirPods. Much more solid plastic or whatever type of material this is. And the same goes for the AirPods as well. So they're a lot more solid, they feel a lot stronger, and I feel like they're a lot better quality. But I did pay $300+ for them compared to the 80 odd for the Jabras. In regards to an ear fit, whoop, nearly lost that one. So this is the other thing. You got to check which one's the left, which one's the right, because they look very similar. Anyway, I'll put the right one in my ear from the Jabras. Now I'm going to put the left in the Airpod Pros, and you can have a look for yourself. You know, you've got the traditional spaghetti hanging down your ear into AirPods, which doesn't bother me. People are very used to them these days. And then you've got the Jabras on the other side, which are very flush fitting and flat sort of a finish, which are a little bit more, well, actually they're a lot more discreet. So the Jabras have the passive noise reduction, and what that means is the silicone that seals your ear canal with the headphone is very good. It almost feels the same as when I activate the Airpod Pro's active noise cancelling. So it's got a really good seal, and therefore it blocks all the surrounding sound around you, which is why it's got a passive as opposed to the active. So in the Airpod Pros, you squeeze the little spaghetti piece at the bottom, and it activates active noise cancelling using the external mics, and it blocks the sound around you, which is also very good. But right now, they both feel about the same with that activated and not having any built in either. So from that point of view, they're great. Now, from a fit, I'm not going to do the head shake test because, well, I look silly, but you could comfortably wear these on a treadmill or going for a jog without them falling out. If I had to pick one that would be probably a bit stronger fitting for me personally without it falling out, definitely the Jabra. So much so that it builds up a bit of a vacuum, and it's actually hard to take out. You almost have to twist it the opposite way to break the seal and pull it out. Well, I can hear now. Whereas with the AirPods, it just pops out. So from a fit point of view, I think that the Jabras fit a lot better for me. They're a lot more comfortable based on my ear size. Now that could be, well, it's going to be different for everyone else, but I can wear them for a couple of hours without any issues. Now, if we go into the sound quality of them both, they're both very good, but I can tell you the Jabras have got, in my opinion, a much stronger bass. So if you're someone that enjoys bassy music, you will enjoy the Jabras. If you're like me that wants to have a cheaper alternative for certain environments or circumstances, these are some of the pros around the Jabra Elite 3's. So the big bass, it's phenomenal. I love it. It's actually got a quite good dynamic range as well. The treble and the mids are quite good too. It is slightly on the bass heavy, and I've also got it in the EQ set on a pretty flat profile. So it's not like I've increased the bass or whatnot. So in my opinion, the bass is awesome. The sound is clear. It's got good noise isolation. So if you're at the gym, for example, it does block the noise around you, even the music that's coming out of their speakers as well. But it does have the hear through. Now, that's something that I want to talk about briefly. So with the hear through, when you've got both your, or even one of the headphones in, they've got physical buttons. Unlike the AirPods, who you just require a bit of a squeeze on the stem. With the Jabras, they actually got a physical button. So if you've got both of them on, click it once on the right, start, click it again, stop, press and hold the right volume increase or decrease one on the other, left, da-da-da-da. The hear through is on the left one. You press it once, and what it does, it uses the external mics, and it picks up the sound around you. So if you're walking down the street or running or whatnot, or you're somewhere where you need to hear what's happening in the surrounding areas for your own safety, it's quite powerful. It is a bit unusual, and it takes some time to get used to it. The AirPods also have a similar feature as well, where you can hear the surrounding sound, but they sound different, and it's hard to explain. You sort of have to hear it for yourself. It feels a bit more amplified in the Jabras than they do in the AirPods. Okay, so that's another pro. They are very compact. The case is quite small, and you know, if I compare them against the Airpod Pros, that sort of gives you a bit of an indication. The warranty against the failure from dust and water for 2 years, which is pretty powerful. So they sort of stand behind their IP55 rating. So these are some of the pros, but some of the pros are also cons in my opinion as well. So what I mean by that is, for example, the hear through. When you're on a call and that's enabled, to me, it's going to take some time to get used to it. Because you hear your own voice, which is good. Here's a pro, right? So you know if you're yelling or carrying on like a pork chop. But at the same time, you're hearing yourself as you're speaking, which sort of creates this, I don't know, like a delay or just an unfamiliar experience. So that, to me, could work as a pro, as a con. The buttons are not very responsive. So, for example, you know, when I put them on at the gym and I'm going to change a track, it works, you know, every time to every second time. The hear through, on the other hand, will put the volume up or down when you press it, and it's a bit flimsy. And I'll give you an example. See if you can hear the buttons. So the buttons are mechanical. So see if you can hear them. I'll put them next to the mic. They're slightly spongy. I don't know what I've activated, but lights are flashing. They're slightly a bit spongy. They've got a bit of a click, but if you don't press them dead center, or you got your finger across the whole unit as such, then it just doesn't work. And it's a bit annoying because sometimes I just want to flick it, pause the song because someone wants to talk to you, or the hear through on. And you got to sort of excuse yourself, oh, one sec, and then you got to take it out, which defeats the purpose. So it doesn't always work. That's a massive con for me. Would it stop me from buying it? No. But it's just something you got to be aware of. The other thing is the case and the feel of the buds themselves is cheap. In my opinion, it feels cheap. So it's got this very hollow, cheap plastic sound compared to, if I again compare it with AirPod Pros. I mean, you can probably hear it if you've got headphones on, but they're a lot solid, a lot more, how can I put it, better quality, better hinges, better made, but are also 3 times the price. So you do get what you pay for. After all that, knowing all the pros and the cons that I've just gone through now, do I regret buying them? Not a chance. I use them every day. I thoroughly enjoy them. I mean, they're very compact, they're very small, so they're very, very convenient for me to take them in the gym, chuck them in the bag, and honestly, I don't care if they get scratched. I'd be upset if I lost them, or I stepped on them, or all that other stuff, but I don't regret buying them. I really, really enjoy them, and I would buy them all over again, although my wife would probably not be happy. Nevertheless, the only thing is, if you're an iOS user, so you've got your Lightning port, cable, very handy if you've got the AirPod Pros. However, the Jabra Elite 3's, they require USB-C charging. Not the end of the world. If you're like me, you've got items that require micro SD, USB-C, Lightning, USB-A, or whatever. So I always have cables lying around. They also come with a charging cable in the box, but it just means that you might have to take another cable on your trip or on your wherever you're doing. Anyway, my point is, they do have different charging options for them, both. Also, keeping in mind, this is not a sponsored video. I have purchased these with my own cash money, and nobody gave it to me. Nobody gives me nothing yet. But then again, that comes with time. Packing them up to finish up the review is actually quite pleasant. So the case will stay open. Check this out. It locks in. Unlike the AirPods, which you cannot lock the case open. Hello. This one does lock open. And I've got a reasonably strong magnet, so when you do drop them, where is it? It's got a very strong magnet. They just jump straight in. And look, even upside down, they are still charging. Second pair, spare pair, or even a main set of headphones, they're fantastic. If you want active noise cancelling, then you may want to upgrade. I think it's the Elite 4s that come with that feature. and you need to spend a little bit more. But for me, as they were a second pair and they were there for a specific reason, which was A, travel, B, the gym, they're great. I'm happy with them and I'll continue to use it on a daily basis. So thank you for watching. I hope you've got something out of it. If you're like others out there that don't have time to watch a lot of reviews and go there and research and whatnot, and a lot of my family friends don't, and they tend to ask me for what my thoughts are. Well, my thoughts are Sash approves. I enjoy them, I like them, I would buy them all over again, so I'll leave that choice up to you. Hope this video has been of some benefit and you've got something out of it. If nothing else, well, we've enjoyed a nice day together. Take care, until the next video. Sash from ST Reviews signing out. Ciao, ciao.